situation against Fnatic. Not where they exactly pictured they'd be after picking up Mirage, but we are going to get underway. Pistol to go, and not a lot of upgrades, but a decent amount of nades picked up for karrigan.
Yeah, TSM, more importantly, momentum is going to be the critical thing for them. If they can claim the momentum, we've already seen Fnatic, very difficult for them to stop TSM when they start getting back-to-back rounds. At TSM, well, they're getting scouted out by JW. JW already opens up on cajunb, looking for more. He's only taken a little bit of a dink. While he brought Zipnix down to 82. They got the kill on cajunb, and TSM, now they go to decide, is it still worth coming to the A side, or is it worth switching around? Because karrigan, that floater, you still have to look down towards pipes, but flusha is the man. It's going to be able to make the calls. They'll open up Squeaky and look at the rotations already coming from Fnatic. And more importantly, watch for the flanks.
Well,
TSM, they've been given the side, almost. flusha banging from the smoke from up in jungle, but the side is TSM's.
Exactly. The other thing was that they pulled everyone off of it, and with the smoke on Cat, that didn't allow much for a retake. Fnatic do still have a 2-man advantage. Zipnix is low on HP. JW is going to catch him over the top. So Zipnix has to get back out the backside of sandbags and get that kill on JW. That was important. Does so successfully, but they're still swarming in. It's a TK. He dropped into the crosshairs, and pronax had no time to react. But all they have to do is hold Zipnix out. He gets the first. They'll counter it, and they've got a kit as well. So good defuse here from Fnatic. Nice retake.
A TK is a TK, but it's not going to matter that much at the end of it all. So no weapons were being lost, and it's fine. So first round goes the way of Fnatic. TSM now. Fnatic, well, they can play a lot more aggressive positions because you're going to get these SMGs up and running, which means you can get in close up against TSM, get the extra cash, especially for the CT side. You want to make sure you got a lot more in the kitty for him. While TSM, we're going with Tech 9, it's got a P350, as looks like we've also got the AK from Device. So they can play a little bit of the range game. But look how far JW wants to come up. He's having a party up there. But that's not where TSM want to come in.
Right, this is interesting for Device to go for this AK early. They obviously think they can overwhelm Fnatic. And look at the positioning from Fnatic. In fact, they may just do it at B because they're so aggressive on A, but not really rotating forward.
Oh, cajunb already opens up with 2. And again, TSM. We were talking about A side being the primary side, but TSM, they get the perfect entry frags on pronax and flusha. The guys have really stepped up for Fnatic so far tonight.
And later in the match, this is going to play into it because it leaves A as an option. Again, I talked about how it was repetitive from them against VP. Already using B, this play is in Fnatic's mind. And again, they looked for information at A, but they didn't push forward. They held station. And if you're that far out at long A and not already on the move in behind them for the flank, you're a long way away from the site. Never mind what we said about fast rotations. You're just giving yourself a massive disadvantage. And TSM took full control, so good gamble to go for the early buy, and they'll tie this up already.
There was only 1 kill that came out with the MP7 and Zipnix, so let's make it 2 for JW. So a little bit of extra money in for him, but Fnatic, yeah, there's 1-1, and TSM, T-round for them. And what are we going to get out? We're seeing more AKs, seeing that P90, which karrigan was able to hold on to. So proper weapons up for TSM, while Fnatic, they're still strapped for cash. Looks like, again, TSM favoring over towards that B site. While the A, they can easily move over if they can control up this mid. Fnatic having presence. This is another reason why you want to look for that early AK. If you can win this mid battle, you clean up construction. Molotov flies in, so it's going to keep the CTs in there, but KriMz gets the upper hand. That means an AK into the defenders, the CTs. In fact, Olof takes it, but they're losing players. They bang through the wall. They're unable to get back out of that mid connector. They did at least with the AK, but they lost KriMz for it, and olofm losing half of his HP.
That was a well-played stack toward mid. That's what we're talking about with the aggressive defense. That's a little different than the original approach. The more orthodox approach is to just get up to long out. olofm's all the way behind them. This has to be carefully thought out right now from TSM because they are getting swarmed. Once you find a pick aggressively, if you win that peak, then everything turns CT-sided because you've already funneled them. It's easy to just control the reactions and rotations back the other way. Already getting stuck on sandbags. Device does get through. That flash catches him off. Backside of the site, we still have Zipnix firing over, but look at flusha. Already finds one. JW on the other.
And olofm's going to execute him. Great surround by Fnatic. You can see it. The second olofm was able to get that position up near T-spawn, he came in from behind. You already had control of the mid connector, so your 2 B players, they play from up in sniper, 1 from down in the jungle, and you got all the angles practically covered. If TSM want to go for the plant, then you just slowly come in and in and in. And you'll always have TSM unable to just take a fight directly. They have to keep looking behind themselves. And that's really the problem of Overpass. You always have to watch for that flanker, how quick he moves.
Oh, definitely. And again, we talked about how olof's going to do it. He's not the one. He is pushed up this time, but he's not the one that's actually out toward long right now. It's JW.
He's the one who's in trouble.
And it's
Or maybe not. He brings down dupreeh, looking for more. He can take out Device as well. But you've lost 3 players here in the pistol round for an M4 of Olof.
So Xyp9x wants to play for at least a rifle here.
He actually can't reach it. And now he's getting flanked. It's that movement you can just do through long A, and there's no way to predict that. Now karrigan in, killing off pronax. So he opens up the A side, but doesn't have the bomb and doesn't have any life. Flush will finish him off with the P90.
That's another reference that we didn't really bring up because it's not something that plays in. You don't expect to see it, but there was a round against VP as well where karrigan managed to work all the way through the A side and get behind all of the defenders at B. He's very good at lurking on this map. For whatever reason it is, he just, the timing, a little bit of luck maybe, but he always manages to get deep inside sights late in rounds. That time it didn't make much of a difference. Does get one gun out of their hand, but it shows off that he's at least thinking about angles the whole time as he pushes forward. And if he can open up some of the backsides of the sights or rotators, then they have a better chance.
Olof again looking for the initial kill over towards the A approach. Also gets a lot of information, but JW, so aggressive in his move. He's still seeing there's the flashbangs of the grenades coming out from the playground. So knows someone else is here. That's karrigan with the movement. Gets JW in the back. And that means rifle in for karrigan, shooting into the bathrooms. And Fnatic are very, very worried about this bathroom control and A. It's almost like they have to start falling back in a moment. Because Connector belongs to TSM, and they know they've already got construction too.
And they're going to get passive because of this. So again, it doesn't really open up a lot more. It doesn't thin the defense quite so much on this map. It actually usually thins B out when you get a pick at A because you rotate one back. But all they get out of this is just a little bit more map presence. They can't quite be controlled as easily. They still don't get the entries, though.
karrigan's trying to get a little bit of information. Olaf picked up as he tried to rotate out. They still have to worry about the side. The flash has come in. KriMz wants to try and stop the plant, but he has to walk all the way around the box to do so. And ends up getting picked off by cajunb.
And now watch, they'll just scatter. They fall out. Xyp9x, cajunb, back down middle, dupreeh to bathrooms, Device at long. karrigan will stay deep, he doesn't have to worry, but post-plant positions, all in the favor of TSM right now.
Yep. It's almost nowhere where Fnatic can run to. You can try and get yourself out through construction and pipes, but you're being surrounded. Not much time. Xyp9x already picked off flusha, and there's pronax. He'll be taken out too. So TSM keep all 5 up. They've got the ops, they've got the AKs, and Fnatic, well, they got a little bit of money behind them, but you see Olaf only on 1,400. Not much to speak of. And this is also a CT side Fnatic. So they'll have enough to buy up. In fact, they're going to go for JW for their AWP, and they're going to get the Famis's too. But Flush has to sacrifice himself for it.
Yeah, massively. Does still have head armor on Flush's case, but that's almost an unwarranted investment against an AWP and 3 AKs. He's the one that gets aggressive, pushes up. It's JW, so they actually use the AWP to try and get an early pick.
Yeah, but no
in a typical JW fashion, we'll say.
Aggressive, crazy push. As, yeah, no one was showing themselves, so Fnatic, they keep all their players up. They're just rotating around. Fnatic just want information at the moment.
And this is actually frustrating because not only did they push up on the A side, we saw them push toward construction at B as well, and they haven't found anything. So what's the read? What's the gamble? Because suddenly you realize TSM is playing a patient game and you can't predict the sites, although it looks like Fnatic have some anticipation right now with their setup because this is different. They are stacked. They're not all the way over toward A, but they are stacked in the backside for quick rotations at B.
Yeah. They want to keep the extra player boosted over on A if they had a chance. JW dropping very, very low. pronax playing that front position. This time he'll be able to do what Olaf couldn't. And let's get back over towards the truck. Let that Famis spray go out. And that's where they can cover the box. KriMz as well as pronax really teaming up nicely together. It's a 3-on-1. It's only up to cajunb, who's still on the bathroom side. He's going to move up. The flash to start with. And there's your peak. Tagged. They're going to, well, they were considering the jump up. But there's no reason for them to take that risk. You know, show the headpiece to cajunb, and he'd be quite happy to take it off. So instead, well, okay, that's a risk. Olaf runs in. cajunb with 2. Now we can start the plant, but does he want to finish this? flusha right behind him.
He had to do it. He had to stick it. There was only 6 seconds left when he tried to go for it.
It's either that or dummy and hunt the kill, but that's a big risk play either way.
Exactly. He would, yeah, and I don't think he realized KriMz was that close. KriMz did peek it, obviously, which was surprising because even if the bomb goes down, yes, it gives money to TSM, but then he's still close enough. Once the bomb goes down, he picks one step, he's already there. And because of that, there was a chance for the bait, but you can't risk it. You've got to stick that in that position. So Fnatic get one more. They're doubling up 4-2.
But
Gun's still out, though.
Is this really enough rounds for them? Like, what is their goal here? How many rounds do you need on CT to be Fnatic?
9-6 is where we should end up on this map. I think TSM actually would need more than that.
TSM.
Just based on the way Fnatic's been playing in the last...
It's lighting up. It's lighting up on B. TSM still haven't lost a single player, and they're going to get this bomb plant down. Device and flusha. They could be scratching each other's backs at the moment. They are so close. They just don't know, and they're not even looking the same direction. Device has more friends coming over on the other side of these sandbags. flusha in the corner, now out of construction. Device takes one, and you're still blind. TSM hold the site. KriMz is the last man left alive.
Talk about a maximum duration flash. KriMz gets one on Xyp9x on the exit, but that flash, man. flusha didn't have sunglasses to protect himself that time.
TSM now. 3 rounds to 4 will be theirs. They want to get rid of this AWP in the hands of KriMz. He's able to kill off karrigan, but Device able to get it back. So cajunb still going to be the man with the only AWP on the map, and Fnatic no weapons. No weapons for their defense. TSM have all the advantage, and yep, there's that flash again.
It bounced through the edge of the smoke and directly in front of him. So he had, first off, the smoke covered it, and second off, even if he turned, it was still so close to me, he would have been partially blind regardless.
I want to flag one thing too. You look at cajunb, as far as his kill count in this one, he's managed to find 8. This is something which he really hasn't found a lot of space for in the previous maps. It's always been more like Device as well as, yeah.
Specifically on his T side, yeah, he's decent on entries, but it's more the CT that he's been in this particular tournament. Watch out for JW up close, tries to peek out from the connector. I think he's spotted, so he runs. He's trying to get himself way back through the smoke and over toward his team.
And Xyp9x with the spray, unable to really connect. So no early frags. A little bit of chip damage. karrigan's already so far up. With the smokes, they cover the side. KriMz waiting for the headshots, can't find it. So the front of the A side is open. The bomb is down, however. JW was able to find that pick off, but one by one, they all fall down, Fnatic. And there it is, the last one to drop. dupreeh still going to look for the extra cash for himself, but they leveled up 4 rounds apiece. TSM, they want to end this now. They really want to be able to end this now. They do not want to find themselves on Inferno with all maps leveled. This
is encouraging as well because they're not giving up. Again, we were on pistols that round, sure, but they're not even in the gun rounds, aren't giving up too much to that aggressive defense from Fnatic. That's when they really start to take control. If they can find an early pick, Fnatic should pretty much statistically win every single round CT side. So by not giving that up, it has to force them to slow down, and then calculated smokes. We've seen them go to both sites now quite effectively. Oh, nice boost, but they're spotted. karrigan, does he get the kill? Yes.
He does. Which means the party is over for Fnatic. They have to fall back. At the same time, KriMz, he's stuck here. Well, then again, Izzy, he brings down cajunb, but you've lost 2 of your defenders on A. But there's that floater. olofm behind him, and now TSM. They're not too controlled by that. They got a problem with the bathroom, sure, but it's actually olofm who's now the man who's surrounded. I think he knows it. He's got too many angles to watch, and there he is, getting gunned down. 2 players left for Fnatic, and they really forced to buy on this round too.
pronax wants to force the issue, slightly creeping up that nade. He's already spotted the trajectory, so if he actually picked off the second player, he knew where the other one was as well. That could have worked heavily in his favor.
Here's your question. flusha, he's actually moved off the B side.
The other aspect is he knows they're up close and they don't show up. This lets flusha get out quickly and back over to B.
With this nade, that's actually a really great nade. Hit so hard. Xyp9x will drop from him, but dupreeh and Device, they're licking their wounds. The bomb is out in the open. Try and shoot from range, but the Molotov keeping flusha back. pronax looking for a little bit more height. Hence he is manipulating the stairs, if I can get past my words. And pronax, that hit hurts. But dupreeh's already so low.
He can't move either. He's just got to sit stationary and let pronax come out. Leave it to Device to cover him off when he does exactly that. And Device has a great angle.
Hits him hard.
Well, it doesn't hit the shot, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't let him out. That's the main thing. You heard him drop there as well. So shotgun, Wow, okay, tank it. Talk about eating some pellets.
That was the shot to the legs. Thought about aiming up a little bit higher, but when he was coming down from the pit, it made a lot of sense. So TSM now, 5 rounds to 4. Momentum heavily their way, and Fnatic once again forced to be stuck on pistols. As they hit the 10th round,
This is looking really good now for TSM. Again, we said 9-6 is where they should have ended up based on the trends we saw early on, but I said TSM would want more. They may just yet get that. dupreeh wants to go in now. He needs to be careful. He has the bomb right here. flusha's already up close. This is pretty tense. Oh, don't get caught with the nade out. That would have swayed things heavily.
That it would have, but he's got the rest of his teammates coming in, so karrigan takes out flusha as he came up through the construction area, and the bomb plant's going to go down. And karrigan, the rat in the maze, looking to find Fnatic in the tunnels. KriMz will get the upper hand here, but Fnatic, no, they can't take the retake. Device just wants to find these easy, quick kills, able to do so with the M4s. olofm and pronax, the only ones left alive. They don't really have that much to save for, so they're thinking about going for it. Oh, manners. Thought about knifing into olofm. But not going to happen.
It's not even about the manners.
It's the money.
It's exactly. In 1.6, you could call it manners. And Counter-Strike Global Offensive, it's a viable play.
It's the M&M. Money and manners. So pronax, the last man to stay alive. Can at least salvage a weapon. Okay, you managed to pick up the Uzi. That's fine.
And there's your 6. That's 4 now as well. That gives money bonus start to go Fnatic. Starts to accumulate for Fnatic, but we've made mention of it a few times. Yes, the money bonus, you're never going to say no to extra cash, but as soon as that's reset on the CT side, it's actually a lot harder to pull out from. You have to be efficient on the rounds you win. It's not quite so easy. The reset's almost cruel in a way.
So this is the critical round for Fnatic. Can they take it? Can they have the momentum? olofm getting forced back by the smoke, so we can't see anything around the party area, which has to flag to the fact of Fnatic that TSM, they are looking to head themselves over to A, but the commitment question is still there. karrigan, the flash, sees him, can't get the kill though. olofm able to combine up there with KriMz, but they're backing up as quickly as they possibly can. They already have the man advantage with karrigan down.
Need to be careful not to over-rotate off B though, because Xyp9x can still fall. It's a long way to go, so they'll have time.
Freeze already found one. JW, olofm down 2. pronax is able to level things up, able to get himself back as well. That's more important. Back behind the truck, which means Device can't finish as quickly, or maybe he can. Comes in with a CT auto. He couldn't finish it! So, CTs hold the round. Important for Fnatic. They need these quick pickoffs, but Fnatic very efficiently dealing with TSM. Sure, they lose 2 players, but it's not that bad.
That front side bathroom smoke worked really well to slow them down, because it funnels them into the inside. There's an angle you can hold basically that looks directly through the inside hallway. And then KriMz was stacked in the corner. That dropped your bomb. And as soon as he knew Device was long, even if Device pulled off crazy shots, first off, he didn't have a lot of time to work with. And second off, KriMz was running away the other direction in toward the playground because he knew he had the bomb and there was no way he was going to be found. 2 spread out. So dupreeh opens up this time. That's JW, and they want to go quickly now.
Yeah, it's another B attack. The A didn't work before, so they try up to Toxic. He's hiding, and now no longer hiding. flusha had to be pushed out, looking back towards the mid doors. pronax tried to go on the flank here. Sorry, it was actually olofm, who came in and stopping karrigan from stopping that flank. There's a 3-on-2 situation. olofm very injured for the kill he got. Down to 5. Xyp9x just a pop flash. The Molotovs will come, and it looks like Fnatic don't want any part of this. They might look for some of the exit frags, and that's all. There isn't enough life to get back into the side.
I mean, here's the other aspect. We just talked about this. Money bonus got reset.
No money for weapons the next round.
You're only getting out with 2 M4s, potentially less. Okay, no, they're not that close. I thought they might be closer over to olofm's position, but they're not.
So everyone's out for TSM, and another round their way. 7 in total here on their T side. They would love it if they can make a nice even 10.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even force up anything around it. Okay, so they actually, okay, this is an interesting way of doing it. They will get the one FAMAS out, no nades with it, so pronax mans up, and then they toss out a shotgun to flusha, which actually it's flusha that's going to have it, not JW. He's normally the one that runs that gun.
Vice. So important for him to get this early shot. JW again watching that long A. They're going to put a bit of a smoke defense into the bathroom so they can still control the bathrooms. But Fnatic is so far up that no one is in fact looking towards the long A. So if Device wants, we can move out quickly. The spray from the side, dropping him down to 4. So he doesn't want to push up by himself. Speaking of pushing up, it's olofm, snapped back by dupreeh.
That's a bigger loss. Long is one thing to lose. karrigan now finds JW. Long's one thing to lose way out away from the site, but that close, they could potentially rush, especially with the other 2 Fnatic players pushed out on bathroom. So KriMz has to fall back. Does so and actually gets the kill. So dupreeh's down. But TSM still have a lot of room to work.
And all they need to do is just clean up the long A and they get that plant down. Device is the man to have a bit of a quick look, but KriMz, like he knows he wants to keep his eyes peeled. And there it is from cajunb, snapping KriMz back. 2 CTs left. The plant being down on A. And they're very spaced out. Even more spaced out now that flusha is gone. pronax, the only man left alive with just 1 FAMAS and the basic body armor. And Device, he's fairly certainly knows where he is, but there's not much more to be done here by pronax. This should be the 8th round now for TSM.
And they just need to hold it together at this point. They're giving themselves an excellent chance when they get over to the CT side. Remember, in that position, again, we go back to that VP game. It's the most recent example of a good start by TSM we have on this map. It was the T side where they started to struggle and couldn't close it out. This time, they're actually going to be in a good position while they swap over to CT. Of course, it will make a big difference that second round pistol, and Fnatic actually looks like they're going to be the ones to call the timeout. So yeah, they're actually going to use their tactical pause right now. Yeah,
they need another moment. There's only 2 rounds left. If they need to get themselves composed more than anything else. If TSM keep up with this momentum, but there's no real money for Fnatic coming into this next round, so there's not much of a choice for them as far as their weapons and positions go. But maybe there's something. Just slow down the momentum of TSM. If TSM's going to come into the second half with a lot of momentum, how do you stop this? Make as much of a pause as possible. Screw with the rhythm of TSM.
Well, tactical pauses do actually have a time limit, so they will be forced to get back into the game. They can't exactly drag it on forever.
Yeah, it's just even a small break in the focus is enough.
But I don't think that's sure that helps. That's not the main reason they're doing this. They actually want to talk this out. They're struggling right now to hold off TSM late in these rounds. They're giving up a lot of picks. Again, position not as important, but it's the way they're giving it up and the way that TSM's capitalizing on it. Because, again, if they can funnel the offense, which is a pretty easy thing. I won't say easy. Nothing's easy, but it's a fairly, probable thing to do on this map. Choose my word a little more carefully. Then they have a real chance. Every time they've done that so far, they've won the round. The problem is TSM's not giving up those picks, like I say. So Fnatic need to adjust this. Maybe they go back to a full passive defense. Maybe they try that whole approach that most teams don't do on this map. It does still, yes, okay, you don't get the information, but it does still give you one more man on the hold.
They just can't have a lot of confidence with this because TSM's pushed into the B side time and time again, and they've taken the B side every single time. And then if you're like, well, okay, let's hold back on the A side. We've only got pistols right now, but maybe you could sit just on the far side of the bathroom, so you can catch them in the point blank range, use the smoke to your advantage, and get up close and personal with TSM while still being as close as you possibly can. I'm just concerned right now that TSM, they've been too effective on each side. If you take away that early push area and potential flank from Fnatic, then TSM have more space to work with. But here they come anyway. So TSM, they're pushed B time multiple times. A has been also an approach for them. And cajunb, hoping for the earlier shot. Sees the smoke fly down, so he knows there's a player on the side. But not going to shoot to reveal his position. In fact, there's your first shot revealing the position from pronax. No connection, however, for him.
Yeah, this is a bit of a different approach. So they definitely talked about changing things up because that double smoke out to hold TSM in place does let pronax scout, this time on the B side. And that's one way of doing it. If the information and the read's not happening early enough at A, try it on the other side. It's not quite as easy to do over there. You don't have quite as much room to do it in, but it's a curveball, right? It can still catch TSM off.
That call came really early from Fnatic. And that's the right one as well. As, dupreeh hitting the roof. But the flashes, the Molotovs, the smokes, they're all coming in. And here comes this engagement from TSM. It's worked multiple times, but flusha sitting down with that CZ auto. Has to reload inside the pit. He's there with olofm. But the bomb plant still going to be able to go down, or will it? It's sitting on the players. Xyp9x and Device cleaning up the site. There's a 3-on-3 for pistols, which is great for Fnatic. And here comes that plan from Xyp9x. But pronax and KriMz, they're so injured. pronax looking to jump over. Big hit from KriMz. dupreeh's going to drop. They know where one of the T's are, but there's still a big question mark on the last, as pronax was brought down by Xyp9x. Bangs in, but backing up through construction. Now KriMz has to run 2 different directions. Looks down, takes out Device. He's got the AK in hand, but the bomb is still ticking. Xyp9x, the defuse to start. But is it a fake? Xyp9x doesn't know until he can hear the secondary sound. And he just waits. So much patience from him, and then takes the kill.
Good read.
TSM hold the round.
Great read. He'll lose the AK, but again, they're building up an economy. This won't hurt them. 12K for Xyp9x.
Yeah, you're fine, man. You're absolutely fine if you're money for TSM. It's the last round of the first half too. Fnatic, they forced whatever they've got, but it's still CZs. It's a FAMAS, it's a 5-7. There's not much to talk about for them as far as weapons go.
And again, you go back, Xyp9x, I've been talking him up all tournament long about his support play. He's the second highest point total right now in the scoreboard with only 6 frags, the lowest amount on the team. He's carrying the bomb in. He's the one that's putting it down, and you can see he's also closing out rounds, as we've seen now 3 times in this matchup this evening. So he's doing everything that's asked of him. As pronax, though, that's what's asked of him and takes down Device.
Yeah, and they gave him the responsibility, giving him the FAMAS and construction. The smokes are coming again, so once again TSM, they're favoring the B-side. karrigan opening up the door, but that means now KriMz going to have himself a nicer weapon. Well, that's if he can pick it up, of course. Battling through the doors, dupreeh chasing after Fnatic. But he's the last man left alive. He's got the bomb with him. Looking to pop the flash around the corner. In the corner, he doesn't see him! JW will get the kill with a CZ. It's bittersweet, but it's 6-9 for Fnatic.
Hey, Toby, we still got to 9-6.
We did, just the wrong way around.
Exactly.
As far as the prediction went.
So bearing a pistol, we haven't really seen many traditional pistols, specifically tonight. A lot of eco rounds, a lot of force buys up that don't give us the 3-round spread we normally get. So if we can have things go normal and level themselves out, there's potential we can get back to 9-9, and then it's a heads-up play. Fnatic is definitely capable of playing from that position. But if TSM get this pistol, then they can calm down. They can play relaxed, make sure the pressure doesn't get to them, and hopefully push this over the finish line, because they are in a great spot right now to potentially wrap this up.
That they are. And if they can just hold their nerve, it's going to be great. We'll start the countdown, so the second half begins now. And the pistol round, the big question mark, can TSM gain the momentum here in the first round of the second half?
Well, exactly. Again, Fnatic would be able to play easily from a tie point situation, specifically where TSM is going to have to come back. And even more so if they lose the first gun round after that. Again, we're speculating that there's not going to be some force buy or eco round win here. If they lose the first gun round, they have to save another one after that. Gives Fnatic a lead, and TSM, that's when pressure really starts to pile onto you.
And as Fnatic, it's like they're playing the odds here. Leaving the bomb all the way back at the site. olofm and KriMz see how much space they can make around the bathrooms, moving very aggressively up, trying to catch dupreeh on the way out, but cajunb gets that pick up on olofm. flusha also making some noise over on the pipe side. Over towards B, and TSM, very difficult to read aggression, but they've already got one player down. So they just play their static D. Even that decoy, which is over on bathrooms, keeping him at bay. karrigan now going to get some extra information. Getting pretty hard, and now, well, flusha needs to reload. Where's your extra help? Finally, pronax will get the kill. The Xyp9x on top of the side, trying to walk up the ramp. Fnatic having a difficult time getting up, as they've lost too many players. pronax on 5 HP. Xyp9x will take him out, and that's it. This should be.
flusha was still outside the site. He couldn't even get through that smoke. Brilliant first smoke as well to delay them, because they went for that 3A stack. They were slow, a little bit slow on the rotations, and just by slowing them down enough, that lets the players get stacked up on catwalk. So we are potentially looking at both pistols going to the CT side, and TSM, now they've got that comfy cushion to sit on.
Cheeky from flusha, trying to grind the rail and hit the headshot. And, well, he had the audacity to jump twice, and that means flusha will go down, and TSM, the path to victory is looking good, at least for their first round. But they're still going to hold up against Fnatic. We're seeing the Tech-9s, the CZs. And Fnatic, if you want a team with pistols to aggressively push in, they're one of the best. So here they roll.
And this is where TSM is also quite good at changing things up. Double D's out toward the bathroom. Device dupreeh. cajunb actually pushed up further than that, but A little bit of a different play on B. No one up toward heaven. It's actually a passive hold from Catwalk with karrigan forward to try and dodge those flashes.
Olaf has managed to run from basically the most western point of the map, or most eastern point of the map to the west. Doesn't go all the way though. Ends up holding in the short A, making as much noise through the bathrooms as possible. Well, the rest of Fnatic, they still wait this out. We hit the 1 minute. I know we're still on pistol round, so it doesn't take much time, but Olaf banging into all the corners. Still not finding any tags, and TSM are quite happy to wait this out. And here comes your first smoke.
And not only that, Xyp9x did just decide to peek out toward the construction area. Did spot flusha, so they won't get a full read, but now he says, okay, that's enough time. We know they have to be stacked. They're not over toward B at all, because karrigan already looked out toward the long sewage pipe. They have to be at A. Xyp9x is already rotating. This is a great play from him. Just even a little peek. Didn't have to go that far at all. Just, okay, they're not here. This late in the round, they got to be stacked up as pistols.
Such heavy smokes, cajunb doesn't, he can't see him, but then again, they can't see anything else. Pronax, that plant, he is going to get it down. Takes a large amount of damage, and they're going to back up. They get 4 players alive after getting that plant down. So now it's up to TSM to get the retake. Device is looking for the angles with a Famus. They're able to get rid of a couple. flusha still in close. But that's it. The retake will be there for TSM. They hold 4 of their weapons. They'll get the defuse, and they take the 11th round.
Bomb goes down again. Does give a little bit of money, but it's a second-round bomb plant after an already forced out buy. Fnatic has bought in these positions before, but when they're CT side and when they're ahead, it would be a little bit careless, you would have to say, to let TSM pick up 12 and then keep yourself broke for potentially 13. So they'll sit tight, they'll hold station. P250 is okay, not a massive investment. Worthy investment, in fact, but that's all.
Yeah, and only 2 flashes and a smoke. That's got to be a quick entry then. That's almost either a quick A or a quick B. Unless they want to wait it up. So they run up through the tunnels. It looks like Party will be their choice here. And cajunb, I think he heard him. He's already backing up. Don't want to take any kind of risk. dupreeh also. Getting a little bit of tag into Olaf. Retreats back out in time. He's going to throw out the smash. dupreeh. That bullet hits hard. cajunb's already managed to drop down. Device, it's just a block there. It's going to do a lot of damage. In fact, actually gets the kill onto Olaf. The plant, the bomb is in the open. dupreeh can perfectly see it. KriMz is the last man left standing. And this pistol round will not go their way. dupreeh, spray, pray, but the prayer's not being answered for absolutely every bullet he's got. But karrigan will come in and finish the job that dupreeh could not. And the 12th round goes to TSM. They are 4 rounds away from taking the grand final. That's if they can win every single one.
Still 4 rounds. It's a country mile in this position. This is unexplored territory from TSM. Fnatic do now get the AKs out again after saving on that last round. Op's going to go to karrigan, though. So only 1 out, but it's going to be karrigan. He heads toward, where does he head, actually? He jumps out the window. Yeah, he is heading to the pipe. I thought he was actually going to sit up and play passively on B with Xyp9x getting aggressive. Xyp9x getting aggressive, already finding pronax as well. dupreeh catches Olaf, and they've got a 2-man advantage early in this round.
And what a big round for it to happen. This is Fnatic's buy round now. cajunb also looking to keep the defense up. Heavily tags KriMz down to 22.
Big rotation, though, already to B. Because of that 1 pick, they actually had a chance to push forward onto the site. The problem is that flusha is the one with the bomb, and he's nowhere to be found.
Yep. And with no eyes on the bomb for TSM, they're still having a guesstimation of where Fnatic is looking to come. And if Fnatic can keep this bait going, JW with a jump up, he's waiting for TSM to boost on top of the truck. But they're not going to grant him his wish. So there's no frag to level it up to 3 apiece. And while karrigan's still walking around with that scope, it's difficult to get into the B site too. The smoke comes over, it's over on construction. dupreeh and Xyp9x, they hold their nerve. They don't want to get out of here, so JW needs the entry frag. The Molotov already coming in. That's just from the CTs. The smokes as well, 25 seconds on the clock.
He doesn't even so much, again, we talked about this. It'd be nice to get the entry frag, no doubt. He doesn't even really need it. They've got 3 smokes to work with. If they can hold it off, this bomb plant's still possible. Counter smoke comes out close, though. That's going to delay them now massively, and dupreeh fires through the gap. So that turns it back.
10 seconds. They're running out of time and running out of players. dupreeh's going to drop.
2 players on Fnatic just died on a late take with smokes still on their belt. That's a little bit of a misplay. You could have easily smoked off the backside of truck. Instead, dupreeh has complete line of sight.
And Fnatic is such a tight position. They're actually going to force buy on this. And there's not much to speak of. If they lose this and go into the next round, like what's even our money situation then with TSM looking at 14-6? Would look like the easiest 15th round they've ever taken.
Well, we won't get too far ahead of ourselves because we've seen, we've got to be in the close to double digits of ecos this weekend. There's karrigan to start it off, though, off into flusha.
Fnatic moving as quick as they can. They at least control the bathrooms. Device getting a little bit of extra information down in front of the bathrooms. Your secondary objective. Nice little throw out toss nade. JW drops by 18. But Device is just watching towards that long. He's actually been asked to basically control both sides and can't get the initial hit. Fallback time, throw out the Molotov, stop the push up through A. This is really problematic for Fnatic. They cannot get the entry frag onto the A side, which means TSM still have that big advantage. But they're not giving up.
Olaf pinched into the corner based on the fire behind him.
If Device can peek here. She peeked at the right time, but Olaf gets dinked up harder.
That bolt just ricocheted off the front ledge in front of him. Otherwise, that was a direct headshot.
And here they come. 26 seconds on the clock. The time to plan has to happen soon. dupreeh, he's at least able to get a tip for tap, but KriMz is the last one left alive. cajunb and Device really teaming up. He starts with a plant, Device just sprays through the smoke. That's a big round. 14-6. The money is still there for Fnatic to buy up. But TSM, they are so close, they can smell it.
And here's
the land final victory.
Here's the interesting thing. cajunb has been consistent on land. He's up near the top. All weekend, it's been a team game. Last game of the series, everyone's playing fairly well. It's Device who finally does get back to the top of the leaderboard, who is carrying, I won't say a full carry, but carrying most of the weight right now for TSM. And he can't do it alone, but he can definitely do it one or every now and then. And that actually walled him up.
Yep. That connected. pronax is down to 19. And they keep this crossfire going. Fnatic, they've only got 3 players left.
3 players left and no money. They're playing to actually force the win here. They're not playing at all for overtime.
Oh, that nade. It's only KriMz. KriMz with 33. The Tech-9's karrigan's running it in. At least KriMz can take one. There's 2 left. He's got the bomb.
And
he's also got 1 minute to play, so he can play smart CS.
But of course, with that much time being absent, it's going to be, I mean, they'll fan it out. They'll go 1-1, but it's going to be pretty obvious for TSM. It's not going to be at B. cajun's still going to creep a little bit more forward. Actually, they both are.
I like where KriMz is going. He's giving himself the option where he can go both A and B.
Well, I mean, it's a mind game at that point, especially with a minute. They rotate back. He's not at B. Okay, he's got to be A. Oh, he's not at A. Where is he? Is he back at B? And that's exactly what he could have done.
You prefer the A side. It's a little bit easier to get into. Less angles he's got to check as opposed to B, which is just so open.
And again, he can go for that fast plant as well. So dupreeh still holds station. cajunb's not in a position to necessarily go for a quick pick. KriMz doesn't know that, though, so he's checking every possible angle. He may actually push right through. Because if he can put this to a one-on-one post plant early, there's a big chance for him. 7 seconds, has to hold this. Has to hold this. That's the big thing. So cajunb needs to get in position. Does he do it? He gets it down. Knows he's coming from that angle because he heard him take the step up. Doesn't matter. I say cajun, you say B. TSM championship point, and no money left for Fnatic.
This is big. Nine championship points. You couldn't have asked for a better position for TSM, especially here in Overpass. You would have thought maybe Fnatic, it's their game, it's their map reputation, good or bad, but...
Oh, TSM showed up for sure.
Yeah, and their CT side. We saw how great it was on Mirage too, and it's just been just as great here.
I'm going to go ahead and jump the gun a little bit. Keep in mind, if TSM win this, they gave up 1 map in this tournament against potentially the 3 best teams in the world. It's a heck of a performance. We'll see if they can close it. Again, they do get the force up on the AKs based on the money bonus that's going their way. It's in more than full effect right now. karrigan gets flashed off, tries to go for the peek. He's exposed because of it. So he actually gets caught by JW on the way through.
Yeah, and this means Fnatic, they have the side. JW with the double. They smoke up the sniper's nest. And TSM, I don't think they want a bar of this. Save the weapons, keep the advantage, play for the next round. You've got so many rounds to play with anyway.
Yep, that's the big thing. Because they aren't in a super comfortably A spotted him up. Actually, JW still gets the kill, so 3 for him on the round. It's a good performance. flusha is going to go ahead and take Device. But holding on to these guns, because again, they're not super wealthy considering they're that far ahead. So money bonus reset, T-side, very efficient round, back to 15-7. Not out of the woods just yet for TSM.
No, it's not. Fnatic, if they can keep this up, like I know we're living a dream right now if you're a Fnatic fan to force it to a 5th map. But we've seen the impossible happen before. And all they can force is overtime. So Fnatic, let's push it out.
So pop flash onto the stairwell. That heads in. Does catch off dupreeh, who was lurking down into the stairs, but again with those pistols, he just wants to get up close. He's actually surrounded right now as well. That's the awkward part for him.
Well, he's okay with this if he gets just one. That's all he really needs. He's not going to find that one. Pronax will nail him down with the AK flusher as well. They're coming in quick. There's still those 2 last defenders for TSM. They're over on the A side. That's exactly where Fnatic are running into. cajunb brings down JW, but he's the last man standing with 6 HP and 4 players to kill. He cannot do it. So Fnatic, they'll take the round and deny TSM the victory for the moment. And TSM, they've got the money. They're buying up for this one. Well, so does JW.
Staggered by, mind you. Karrigan does have to go for this FAMAS, so they won't get the op back out on him. Remember, it was actually him getting caught with the op, that flash. Just almost bad luck on the timing. Well played by Fnatic, if anything, but caught him out. He went to go for that peek. Suddenly he's fully blind and already mid-air. He can't stop the peek. He gets exposed. That's what opened up that 7th round for Fnatic. Oh, Olaf, what a shot. Xyp9x was only in the air for half a second, spots up the dome, and AK gets the kill. Nade to go over top as well. They haven't committed to either bomb site yet, and a man advantage. No aggressive defense from TSM, though. That's the big thing. They fell off A immediately, and they've been doing that a lot in the past in terms of getting aggressive. Now you can tell right now they just want to secure one round, take no chances.
It's play the numbers game. No high risk, high reward. You've already got rounds to play with, and you just need one. Only one required. So Xyp9x with his jump, he was searching for vision, so TSM can put the numbers in the right spot. You know, the smoke's down, they keep the A side pretty much covered, but Fnatic, looks like they still want to commit. You look down towards the pipes, but keep your eyes on karrigan. He's the other man who's in close. KriMz is making the noise over on the A side. In a moment, there's flashes, there's smokes, and there's karrigan. Takes out one, but Flush is able to get through him, which means now the pipes belong to them all. cajunb from up near Toxic. The Molotov's keeping JW out. 26 seconds on the clock. cajunb playing the angles, is moving all the way around. But yeah, again, Fnatic, they're switching it up. They're looking towards B. Device is actually in the wrong position because he's looking down near the jungle. And it's dupreeh who gets brought down. Fnatic, they own the A site for the moment.
Now they're finding space. They didn't like the way things looked at B because Cajun, they spotted him up coming in from the window. Now Device brings it back, 2-on-2, still not down yet. JW is checking the off angle, but that's not necessarily going to be the approach from TSM, and they're going quick. Device wants in on top of it. pronax finds the first, does trade it back, and JW just has to hold this angle. He's got the op to do it.
He needs to keep calm here. Device looking for the pick. Banging through, he's going to start the defuse, and is the peak going to be there? There it is.
Yep.
JW holds around at 8-15. Going to improve that to 9-15 as we hit the 25th round.
And full save again now for TSM.
There's not much more they can do. Remember, they just played. They're still going to have 5 rounds advantage. Even if they do lose this pistol round. Their other option is they just push very aggressively. cajunb, the only one to buy a grenade, and it's a HG. And they're coming down. Try and control the connector. 2-1 tied on B. 1 over in the bathrooms. It's keeping it nice little spaced out. Olaf, as well as Device, they're the first ones to take damage. And pronax, he's able to get through karrigan. So quickly onto the B side. There is still one pistol in close. That's Xyp9x trying to keep Fnatic down with their feet wet in the pit. But they're just mopping through them all. So Fnatic, they just hold tight. TSM can't get any of these weapons back. JW actually does get brought down by the blinded cajunb. But cajunb's the last man left alive. He might just look to try and save this orb. Difficult to get out with it, however. Especially when he's surrounded on all sides.
Just stay passive. Don't give away the position. Flash does go over, though. Don't give up the pick.
Olaf's looking for
him. Yeah, there you go.
10 rounds to 15. They hold the AWP. They hold their 3 AKs. So the money's still there for Fnatic for a long, long amount of rounds to come. But TSM...
And they get the opt-out, crucially. It's going to go to Device this time, not karrigan, so this will be a change in play. And this indicates to me that they might get aggressive on A, which they haven't been doing. Now they might go back to it. In fact, that's exactly where they're looking. dupreeh's already on his horse. Device is right behind him. Watch for the early pick. This will give them a full read and a funnel, but they may not get it. They may just have to react quickly to the fact that Fnatic are vastly approaching that sewage pipe. Pronax, be careful, man. You're the first one in. He has the bomb. He's got to be so good here. karrigan gets caught from that flash. He does get him.
Yep.
That would have been absolutely crucial for TSM to get the bomb down inside the pipe.
But Fnatic still haven't gotten into the full site yet. They bring down Sipnix on Toxic, take a little bit of damage to do so. The flank from TSM's not coming, and with the death of cajunb and now of Device, it's another round for Fnatic. TSM
needs to take their timeout right now.
Yep.
This is starting to slip away. This is starting to get out of hand. Momentum's on their side. Fnatic's been in this position. You're on match point. If this goes to overtime, you've just given Fnatic another chance on a map that normally goes their way. They need to settle this right now. As Fnatic close out, it's another flawless round in doing so. Again, they give up B. And Fnatic's being quick about it too, so they change it up. They want to go out to long A and find a pick. They don't get it because they're already onto the B site. And every time they've rushed a quick B, the hold hasn't been there.
And is this really going to be an overtime force from Fnatic? Is it possible that TSM...
Look at the play, though. Big change up right now on this pistol strat from TSM. This is a Hail Mary.
They're trying to force it. They're just trying to force it. Cost Fnatic as much as they possibly can. You run it and try and have yourself a party. How much damage can be done, Fnatic? They lose only one player, or maybe they might lose more. Yes, Device can win him on the battle. And in fact, cajunb from behind. Can they really win the grand final on a pistol round? They've got 2 AKs into their hands. They'll lose Device. cajunb still here, throwing the flash up. The same for olofm. They're both going to get blinded here. And karrigan, it's a 2-on-1. It's just olofm left, and he's going to get karrigan down. There it is. cajunb will end it on the aggressive